Network, and I serve as the executive director and founder of the Brotherhood of Excellence Academy. We're on a mission of ending fatherless generations by preparing males for empowerment, entrepreneurship, enrollment, enlistment, and employment. Under the empowerment segment of our mission, we have launched a broadcast called Teaching Boys and Raising Sons. Again, we have started a broadcast called Teaching Boys and Raising Sons. We're going to be interviewing mothers or fathers or even joint couples who are actually raising sons. In some instances, they may be raising sons now. They maybe have already raised their sons, and so they have the opportunity to reflect on how did they prepare them for manhood, or how did they have conversations about police brutality. Let's not forget George Floyd, and what kind of conversations did that take place within their household. We want to share what these parents, these mothers, these fathers have learned on their journey of raising sons. So Teaching Boys and Raising Sons, everybody can get something out of it. It might be a leadership nugget. It might be something that you have been really wanting to hear other people's thoughts and opinions about it. Again, we are super excited for the opportunity under our mission and one of the components of our mission is empowerment. And so we are so excited to be able to offer these empowerment segments under our broadcast, Teaching Boys and Raising Sons. Let's get started. How are you preparing Caleb for manhood, particularly since he's getting ready to transition to another world? I'll say it that way.
I love books, and I've used books their whole life, and I use certain books that are shockers. I mean, they just shock them to reality. And I've found quite a few that we have teenagers, so he's 18, and I try to find books that are just as bold as possible because they're right there in black and white, and then we have opportunity to discuss. And just everyone has different gifts to write, to speak, to visualize things, and so if I miss that aspect or if I don't have that gift, the book can articulate the way I'm unable to, and then I can share with him from my heart. So I know it sounds kind of, I don't know how it sounds, but I use books that say what I want to say, and then I just reiterate with, the way I know how to say it, the way he knows mama. He still calls me mama. I love it. I just thought about that. But yeah, I love it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, I appreciate this opportunity because it's made me rethink a lot about him and what he's going through and his transition. So I'm very thankful to be here. I do mean that.
Absolutely. And thank you for being a part of this.
Yes.
We're always trying wonderful new things, as you know, as a board member, try and do new things. So you mentioned books. So can you talk more about how did you create a culture within your home so that Caleb will be able to talk to you. We found sometimes that boys at a younger age have a tendency to talk to their moms all the time. And then sometimes when they get into that teenage years, they're not as talkative. I'll just say it that way. So how do you create that environment or that culture within your homes, in your home, so that Caleb will be able to talk with you?
Okay, I will say around middle school, um, he was I guess he had like a little girlfriend. I just accidentally found out about that. But I wanted him to just talk to me. I wanted him to talk to his dad. I wanted him to talk to one of us. And I had just someone with some wisdom say, you need to let him know that you can talk to him about
Mm,
anything.
that's
And
good.
that's like the key that just opened the door to our relationship. There are things he doesn't say now, that I guess because he's growing, he's trying to think on some things, but he will come and we will talk. And I
Mhm.
told him, I guess around that, it was early middle school. We had a heart to heart, and I said, "You can talk to me about anything, and I'm not going to judge you, you
I love
know." And then if I forget that I said this, you can remind me. I told him, if I flip out on you, just remind me. And he was like, Mama, I'm. He was just so happy that he could just come to me,
Mm,
and um and that was it. I took some wise advice from someone who had a teenager at the time, and he knew Caleb, and actually told on Caleb because he was kind of doing some stuff behind our back, and um, which a lot of kids do until they find out that they have a refuge, they have a place they can come,
mhm.
and if you know any teenager, they don't really think things out very well. They think they're doing things behind your back, but we live in a small community.
Okay.
Or I just told my kids I'm gonna find out anyway. I'm gonna find out anyway. So, and since then, that's it. The bottom line is I let him know, and gave him, I didn't give him permission, so to speak. I just told him it's okay. You can talk to me,
Mhm.
and I won't judge. So,
I love that. Let me go
mhm.
back. I love that. So the idea of creating a safe place in your home where they can talk with you about anything, including mistakes. Can I safely say that? So
Yeah.
what are other some of the strategies you've used with Caleb when he does make mistakes? Because we all make mistakes.
Uh, it's a little different now because he's 18.
Mhm.
He is a young man. I mean, legally in every sense. I mean, you have to wrap your head around. He's still in high school, and
Mhm.
so one of the big things I and it's sad, but I immediately thought about Caleb. You cannot talk or date with anybody, any underclassmen. If they're not a senior and they're not your age,
Mhm.
you just can't do that. And it's just, now we're at a point, he's a semester from graduating. All of the things I would use to kind of slowly go into these things, I don't anymore. I just tell him, hey, you're legally a young man, and certain things are just not permitted.
That's good.
Um, those strategies, I still keep them, and I tell him, Caleb, when you leave, I want you to call.
Mhm.
Everybody, some children just call, some children don't. I just, I just want to put it in his ear, call, whenever the light of your pathway seems a bit dim,
Mhm.
call us, because we remember who you are. So that's just how I'm talking to him lately, because we're kind of down to the wire
I love that.
with him transitioning. And I just might say, we live overseas and he's transitioning to the States. So, man, and we just can't, reach out
Mhm.
and, go get him as quickly as we would like to. So, um, Yeah. So just now it's more like we're just having direct conversations and still reading the books. There's one book I want to just drive home right before he leaves. But
Exactly.
yeah, so we don't always read the whole content of the book, but it's just parts that help bring up sex. It just brings up you know, abuse or just different things that you want to talk about. Or I just, you know, another strategy, I just tell them my life story. Tell them I was a teenager. Tell them, you know, that's really big for me, my testimony, sharing those things with my children. And I've only shared them, you know, as they've grown and as they've understood, or if they come back and ask me with a little more detail, I give them more detail. I don't just spill it, spill it, spill the beans, so to speak. I just kind of share it as they're ready to hear it. So,
I love that. I love that.
mm,
Being really be able to tell your testimony and then of course utilize materials within books to support the direction ultimately that you want them to go and particularly your son in the future.
that's true.
I
I
love
will
that.
say, if I can say, I know the biggest thing is I was reminded that our sons have to have their own testimony. And
Mhm.
we don't want to hear about that, but they have to.
That is correct.
Everybody gets to, so.
I love that. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Shamika Smith. I again serve as the executive director and founder of the Brotherhood of Excellence Academy. And again, thank you so much for taking this time to hear a tidbit, a word of wisdom, a leadership nugget from our broadcast, Teaching Boys and Raising Sons. If you want to know more about our organization, please take the opportunity to visit our website at www.brotherhoodofexcellenceacademy.org. Again, that's www.brotherhoodofexcellenceacademy.org. And also, if you're looking to donate to a 501c3 organization, please consider the Brotherhood of Excellence Academy. We are truly on a mission of ending fatherless generations by preparing males for empowerment, enrollment, entrepreneurship, enlistment, and employment. Join us on this journey. Thank you again so much for watching our broadcast. We'll see you next time.